My beloved brothers and sisters, the future is not something we wait for. It is something we create. And the greatest creators of tomorrow are the youth of today. Education is the foundation upon which every great future is built. When we talk about the future of our youth, we cannot separate it from the power of knowledge. A nation may have wealth, resources, or even advanced technology, but without educated and enlightened young minds, it cannot progress in the right direction. Education is not only about books and exams, it is about shaping character, building confidence, and teaching young people how to think critically, solve problems, and navigate life with wisdom. When a young person learns, they are not just memorizing facts, they are building a vision for their own life and for the world around them. In our times, the challenges facing young people are unique. Distractions are everywhere, from endless entertainment to unhealthy influences. This is why education must go beyond classrooms and textbooks. It must include moral guidance, spiritual growth, and the ability to distinguish right from wrong. An educated youth is not simply someone who scores well on a test. It is someone who can make the right decisions when no one is watching. Someone who can carry the values of honesty, compassion, and integrity into every aspect of life. This is the true meaning of education, and this is what guarantees a future worth striving for. Every young person must realize that their future is shaped today by how seriously they value their education. Each moment spent learning, reflecting, and building knowledge is a seed planted for tomorrow's harvest. At the same time, neglecting education, wasting time, or chasing only temporary pleasures is like destroying that harvest before it grows. Our youth must see education as an opportunity, not a burden. It is their chance to create a life of dignity, strength, and contribution. It is through knowledge that dreams turn into reality and potential turns into success. The reality is simple. Education is power, but it is only powerful when used wisely. If our young people embrace education with sincerity and discipline, they will not only secure their own futures, but also become the guiding light for generations to come. Because the future belongs to those who prepare for it today. Technology has become a defining feature of our time, shaping the way we live, think, and interact. For our youth, it is both an incredible blessing and a great test. Never before has a generation had so much knowledge and opportunity available at their fingertips. With just a few clicks, young people can access libraries of information, connect with mentors across the globe, and create innovations that can change the world. Yet at the same time, this same technology can become a distraction, pulling hearts and minds away from purpose, filling precious hours with empty scrolling and shallow comparison. The challenge, therefore, is not about whether technology is good or bad, but about how we use it. When we guide our youth to use technology wisely, it becomes a tool for empowerment rather than destruction. It can help them learn skills that their parents never imagined, explore new ideas, and even start businesses at a young age. Through technology, they can raise their voices for justice, share messages of hope, and bring communities closer together. But if misused, it can isolate them, make them lose sight of reality, and replace genuine human connection with artificial likes and follows. This is why balance is so essential. Our youth must learn that technology should serve them, not enslave them. Another danger of modern technology is the false sense of success it creates. Many young people today measure their worth by how many likes, followers, or views they receive. They begin to chase validation instead of purpose, approval instead of meaning. This is dangerous because it disconnects them from reality. True success is not in virtual applause. It is in the impact we create in real lives. Our youth must remember that while the world online moves fast, the values of sincerity, honesty, and hard work remain timeless. Technology should not replace these values, but should strengthen them. If we prepare our youth to be innovators rather than consumers, they will not only survive the future but shape it. They will create solutions to problems, design new paths of progress, and leave behind a legacy worth remembering. But if they remain trapped as passive users, always consuming and never creating, they risk being controlled by the very tools they hold in their hands. The choice is clear. Technology can either chain our youth to distractions or launch them into a future of purpose. The outcome depends on how they choose to use it. When we speak about the future of our youth, it is not just knowledge or technology that will guide them forward, but the values and morality that anchor their lives. Education may sharpen the mind and technology may open doors of opportunity, but without a strong moral compass, both can lead in the wrong direction. Values are what keep a young person steady when temptations surround them. Morality is what allows them to say a no to what is wrong, even when the world is cheering them to say yes. In a time where trends shift quickly and pressures grow heavier, it is these inner principles that give youth strength, dignity, and clarity. When a young person builds their life on values such as honesty, humility, kindness, and respect, they are not only protecting themselves, but also protecting the society around them. Imagine a youth with great knowledge, but such a person might use their intelligence to harm others, to deceive, or to pursue selfish gains. But when knowledge is paired with morality, it becomes a light guiding both the individual and those around them toward a better future. This is why values are not just personal choices. They are foundations of a healthy community and a just society. For our youth, morality must not be seen as a burden, but as a protection. It protects them from regret, from broken trust, and from the emptiness that comes when one chases pleasure without meaning. Values are like roots of a tree, unseen but essential. They allow young people to stand tall when storms come, to resist when wrong is normalized, and to shine when the world is dark. Without those roots, even the tallest tree will eventually collapse. Our youth must realize that morality is not outdated, nor is it something only spoken about in old traditions. It is alive, necessary, and urgent today. In a world where lies are dressed as truth, where greed is celebrated, and where selfishness is rewarded, values and morality become the shield and compass that guide the young toward what is real, lasting, and fulfilling. The youth who carry values in their hearts will never lose direction, no matter how chaotic the world becomes. Every generation needs leaders, but true leadership does not come only with titles, positions, or authority. It begins with a sense of responsibility. Our youth must understand that leadership is not about control, it is about service. It is about standing up when others remain silent, about guiding when others are lost, and about sacrificing for the sake of something greater than oneself. A young person who learns to take responsibility for their actions, for their community, and for the world around them is already stepping into the role of a leader, even if no one has given them that label yet. Too often, youth are made to believe that leadership is something that will come later in life, after they are older or more experienced. But leadership begins now. It starts with the small choices, being honest even when lying is easier, helping someone in need when no one is watching, or using their voice to defend what is right, even when it is unpopular. These are the seeds of leadership. When nurtured, they grow into the qualities that inspire trust, respect, and change in society. A future without responsible youth is a future without direction. But a future with responsible youth is a future filled with hope and progress. The future demands young leaders who can balance courage with humility, strength with compassion, and vision with patience. In a world where voices are loud but actions are shallow, we need leaders whose words carry weight because they are backed by integrity. Our youth must realize that if they do not step up with responsibility, others will fill the space, often with corruption, greed, and false promises. This is why responsibility cannot be delayed. It must be embraced now. When young people take responsibility seriously, they change not only their own lives, but the lives of those around them. A student who leads with integrity inspires classmates. A worker who leads with honesty changes the culture of their workplace. A child who takes responsibility in the family strengthens the entire household. Leadership is not reserved for the powerful. It is lived by anyone willing to carry the burden of responsibility with sincerity. The youth who learn to lead with responsibility today will be the ones to shape the destiny of tomorrow. In today's world, one of the greatest challenges facing our youth is not just external pressures, but the internal struggles they carry within themselves. Mental health and emotional well-being have become topics we can no longer ignore. The pressures of success, the fear of failure, the comparisons on social media, and the constant noise of opinions create a storm in the hearts of many young people. This storm often leaves them feeling lost, anxious, or disconnected from who they truly are. To build a strong future, our youth must learn to nurture not just their minds and bodies, but also their hearts and souls. Resilience is the key. Life will never be free of challenge. There will be setbacks, disappointments, and moments of pain. But resilience is what teaches the youth to rise after they fall, to keep moving when the road gets heavy, and to see challenges not as barriers but as opportunities for growth. A resilient youth does not run from hardship but learns from it, adapts, and becomes stronger because of it. When this mindset takes root, mental well-being begins to flourish, because difficulties are no longer seen as permanent endings but as temporary trials that carry hidden lessons. Another essential part of mental well-being is self-belief. Too many young people look at themselves through the lens of others' opinions. They begin to think they are not good enough, not smart enough, not worthy enough, simply because they do not match what they see online or hear from peers. But self-worth must never be built on comparisons. It must be built on the knowledge that every individual is created with unique gifts, talents, and purpose. When youth embrace their own identity, instead of constantly measuring themselves against others, they protect their minds from unnecessary pain and their hearts from unnecessary burdens. Well-being also comes from balance. Youth must learn to balance ambition with rest, social connections with solitude, and work with reflection. Burning out at a young age, chasing unrealistic ideals, or neglecting one's emotional needs only leads to emptiness. But when balance is embraced, life becomes more manageable and challenges feel lighter. The future does not only belong to those with strong minds, but also to those with strong hearts. Every young person carries within them a vision of who they can become and what they can achieve. Dreams are not random. They are sparks of potential placed in the heart to push a person towards something greater. The tragedy is not when a dream feels too big, but when it is abandoned too early. Our youth must understand that vision is the compass that guides their journey, and dreams are the fuel that keep them moving forward, even when the path becomes difficult. Without vision, life loses direction. Without dreams, effort loses meaning. A future worth living begins with the courage to imagine it. Dreaming big is not arrogance. It is hope. It is refusing to accept that the limits of today must define the limits of tomorrow. Yet dreams alone are not enough. They require discipline, persistence, and patience. Too often, youth get discouraged when success does not arrive immediately. They look at others who seem to be ahead and begin to doubt themselves. But every great achievement in history began as a small idea nurtured over time with effort, struggle, and consistency. The difference between those who achieve their vision and those who do not is not talent alone, but the ability to keep going when the journey feels long. The beauty of having a vision is that it inspires not just the dreamer, but everyone around them. A young person with passion and direction has the power to uplift their family, their community, and even generations to come. Dreams are contagious. They spread hope, they ignite courage, and they awaken the belief that better days are possible. But when youth give up on their dreams, they not only lose their own potential, but also the chance to inspire others. This is why protecting one's vision is as important as protecting one's health or wealth. No dream is too small if it carries meaning, and no dream is too big if it is pursued with sincerity and effort. Our youth must realize that their future is not limited by their present circumstances, but expanded by their vision and determination. The youth who dare to dream and work for it will always be the ones who shape the future.